What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're talking about some of the most impressive fragrances that I smelled in 2024 that I think you should start your 2025 with. Now literally all of these, literally all of these came out in 2024. So it's all a bunch of new releases. I just wanted to double check, look at the tin and make sure. But these were some of the most impressive, and we've got a variety of ranges from affordable Middle Eastern. We've got niche. We've got newer designers that were some of my top picks of the year. We've got two clones in here, affordable clones. I mean, there's something for everyone across the board. Daytime wears, date night fragrances. I'm telling you, these are worth checking out in 2025. Stay tuned. Starting with one of the newest releases from Afnan that has a little bit of an Aventus Absolu twist going to it. But the reason I say twist, because you remove a lot of the spices from that and add this kind of thicker, creamy, white floral heart of white blossoms, jasmine, stuff like that. And you get Afnan's Supremacy Collector's Edition. I think it's one of the better releases of the year as far as for the money. It's kind of hard to beat. I would love for it to focus. Kind of difficult when you got such a busy background. I deal with this all the time when I'm right here. But look at that beautiful bottle, that splattered cement print look. The best of the bunch. I get asked all the time, is it redundant to not only intense? A little bit, but not really. Because that's kind of Aventus and it's kind of not. That's kind of Hachivat and it's kind of not. It's black currant and oak moss bomb. Whereas this, sure, you get a little bit of oak moss, you get a little bit of black currant smell, even though they don't list it, but it's citrus, it's fruity, it's creamy white floral, it's woodsy. There's a hint of spice here. This is more like Absolu Aventus than anything else. Really good performer. Afnan's typical quality, because when it comes to better smelling quality oils from brands such as Afnan, Afnan kind of leads the pack. I picked their quality 9 times out of 10 over a Rasasi, a Latafa, a Paris Corner. While they all have their merits, Afnan seems to deliver on using better oils. At least it smells like it to me. More times than not. Really good performer, everyday wear type of stuff. Already in that $40-ish price point, even a little bit less, I believe somewhere in the high 30s. This is a great pickup that you should check out this year. Again, this is from Afnan. This is Supremacy Collector's Edition. This next one was my favorite designer released in 2024. I actually went ahead and got my cousin a 100 milliliter bottle for Christmas as his Christmas present. Him and his girlfriend absolutely love the way it smells, and I don't blame them. And if you haven't tried Boss Bottled Absolu as of yet, I do believe you to be missing out. No, it doesn't really smell like Boss Bottled. I know some people like to have the argument of Elixir versus Absolu. Some people like the Elixir more. I get it. I find this is a little bit deeper fragrance. Resembles a bit of Carlisle from Parfums de Marly. It's fruity up top. It's a bit resinous. It's sweet. It's spicy. It's creamy. There's a little bit of a leathery feel to it. It's nice and warm. There's a lot going on. The quality here is superb. The performance is fantastic. This is great to cut through the cold. This is sensual for date nights. Such a beautiful fragrance. Hugo Boss has been coming one after another with the great releases, both in the Boss Bottled line and in the Boss the Scent line, and this was just such an impressive fragrance to me. If you haven't tried this yet, you really should. Again, from Hugo Boss, we're talking about their newest flanker as of the recording of this video. Anyways, we're talking about Boss Bottled Absolu. This next one's an affordable clone option from Paris Corner. Now, all 3 of the fragrances that came out in the Ophidian line are great. Mango Bliss, which is God of... I'm drawing a blank. God of Fire. I was drawing a blank for a second. Sweet Surrender, which my wife confiscated and it smells amazing on her. I don't know what that's cloning. But Black Cherry was hands down my favorite of the bunch. This one kind of like, from what I understand, Dazzling Cherry or something. I don't know. I forgot exactly which cherry fragrance. Even looks like similar notes to Cherry Oud from Guerlain. But one thing I can tell you, just judging it as this fragrance in this bottle, fantastic. Top 3 cherry fragrance I've ever smelled. It's warm, it's spicy. It's not a sour cherry, obviously, with the name like Black Cherry. A little incensey, warm and ambery, woodsy without any type of funk or medicinal feel to it. A touch of spice. It's for a cherry fragrance. Has a little bit of a masculine lean, though perfectly unisex. The quality here is actually pretty good. I do like the way the bottles come across, and it just smells great, performs great. One of my absolute favorites from Paris Corner. We do have one more from Paris Corner on today's video list, because that one just impressed me so much as well. But man, if you like cherry fragrances, and I have no idea how close or accurate it is to whatever it's supposed to be inspired by, and honestly, I don't care, because it just smells that good. If you like cherry fragrances, you owe it to yourself to give it a try if you can. And that's from Paris Corner. We are talking about Ophidian Black Cherry. Now, I noticed a lot of people, their complaint with this one was it loses some of the green and the mineral notes. I didn't realize the mineral notes were a real selling point for the Profondo DNA. I had no clue that synthetic feel, because you lose some of that over-the-top chemical synthetic nature to this because it's so much smoother. I thought it would have been a welcome change for a lot of people, because I personally think Profondo Parfum and the Acqua di Gio line, like, some of you aren't going to believe this and some of you won't agree, but as far as the Acqua di Gio line as a whole, this is number 2 for me behind Acqua di Gio Profumo. I love it. It's an amber aquatic. It's warm. It's smooth. It's still that oceanic feel. It's got a hint of the green spice from like the rosemary and stuff like that of previous versions, but I think it's superb for an aquatic. Man, this is really good. Not obnoxiously loud in projection, but really kind of radiates off the skin very consistently with its sillage. Very long lasting on my skin. I love it. I love it. I think it's superior to both the original Profondo and the new reformulated Profondo Eau de Parfum, which is just slightly fresher than the original, same profile. Profondo Lights even, which was very green, and I did prefer to the original. I would take this one over all of them. I have every version they've ever put out of Profondo, all 4, and this one's my clear-cut favorite. It's not even close. Again, an ambery aquatic. Man, doesn't that just sound good as a classification, right? Get out and try this one. Don't trust the internet. Don't trust me. Trust your nose and your skin and see if you like it, because for me, it was one of the best designers released last year, and a welcomed delight from Alberto Marias in this line. It's Acqua di Gio Profondo Parfum. This one blew me away first time I smelled it. I now have all 3 fragrances in this line. The Nishane Colognise line, I believe is how you pronounce it. This is Safran Colognise. In my opinion, hands down, the best of the 3. Come on, let's focus one time for me. There we go. So the only downside to these is I got to pull the cap and sniff them, because none of the 3 that I've seen have an indicator with the name of each fragrance. Like when you look on the sticker on the bottom, it doesn't say Safran Colognise. And then on here, it just says Colognise on the label. There's no markers or, oh, here we go. I guess I just never noticed it. There we go, right on the side. As I'm saying it, I'm made to look a fool. I'll be damned, there's a marker. Just never caught my eye before, apparently. But bright citron, super hot saffron, it's a little aldehydic and bright. And you get a little hint of metallic from the saffron, but it's more this like fiery spice that makes the citrus so warm, hot, but still fresh and juicy, with a suede accord that makes a soft kind of fuzzy leather, and you still have that earthy, woody vetiver that the base DNA is known for. When I unboxed this on a live stream, I had to fight saying 10 out of 10. I had to fight it, because I hold those sacred. I don't do like a lot of others where if it's something I just really like, I'm like, it's a 10. No, 10 sacred. I've only given 2 ever. When's a third going to happen? I don't know if ever. But you see me giving 9.5s and the rare, super rare 9.75. That's basically a 10 for me. This is a 9.5 easily. My God, if you're looking for a leather accord fragrance that has all of the dominance of the great freshness you're looking for a summertime fragrance, while being quite unique, I have not smelled another citrus, leather, woody fragrance like this at all. This profile is very unique to my nose and my collection. You can get it for around like $80 to $90 from discounters. Great performer. Man, magnificence in a bottle. All 3 versions of this, all 3 are great. Like, you can get from discounters for all 3 bottles, you like under, not under 200, right over $200 from discounters. You can have the whole line. This is the most expensive one, and it's still under $100. It's amazing. You should try this. It's absolutely fantastic. It's Nishane's Safran Colognise. My very close 1B, or technically number 2, designer released of last year. If you're a fan of iris or heavy wood fragrances, you owe it to yourself to try Givenchy Gentleman Society Extreme, or Extreme technically. This brings that waxy powdered iris. You get a little hint of roasted coffee, you know, soft vanilla as it dries down, loads of different woods. It's a little resinous, it's balmy, it's creamy. There's a dryness to it as well. Just a little bit of spice. It's not over the top spicy, but there's a lot of nuance here. This is a beautiful fragrance. Iris lovers, if you like designer iris fragrances, this is one of the greatest to come out. Period. I just love it. It does take everything that was good that I thought was underappreciated as well about the original Society and elevates it greatly, adds more depth to the fragrance. This is beautiful, great performer. Again, if you like designer iris fragrances, you owe it to yourself. This is superior to everything Dior Homme Intense related profile to me personally. Some of you might be like, oh, can't believe you said that about my beloved Dior Homme Intense. I'm not knocking the fragrance. I just think this is superior to Valentino Uomo Intense, Dior Homme Intense, Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir Parfum, and I love all of those. But I would take this one over it. I would. Get your nose on this. It is that good. It is Givenchy Gentleman's Society Extreme. Let's talk Paris Corner again, but before we dive into a few niche fragrances. Now, this is supposed to be cloning Kilian's Apple Brandy on the Rocks. Sure. But I smell Boss Bottled Intense Eau de Parfum with rum. Apple pie and a shot of rum. To some of you, that sounds amazing. I don't drink and I don't eat apple pie, but it smells great, I gotta say. It is Paris Corner's Mawj Appletini, which I thought was so freaking good. With this, again, yeah, it smells like apple brandy on the rocks, but also smells like Boss Bottled Intense CDP with booze. I like that relation more. It is so good. And 'tis the season. Really good for the cooler fall weather. Of course, the cold winter weather. I mean, it's in the 40s right now. It's 47 degrees as I'm recording this currently. We got some cool fronts rolling. Any of you keeping track of the weather, January is about to be phenomenal for you cold weather buffs that are always looking for cold weather in the south. What a treat January is going to be. This is so good. Above average performance, affordable fragrance, smells really good, high compliment factor in the limited experience I've had with it over the last few months. What more could you ask for? Try this in 2025. Paris Corner's Mawj Appletini. Time to get serious with these last three picks. Oh, buddy, did I save some of the most special of the niche fragrances I've smelled this past year for last. A mango nectar cream snowball. Some of you know where I'm going with this. Gritti mango oud. One of the best fragrances I smelled in 2024, and it's not even close. This is such a unique mango fragrance. It smells like a nectar cream snowball. It's got this creamy, cooling, lactonic milkiness with mango, sliced mango on top of it, of all things. And the oud here is on the sweeter side, a little medicinal, not a funky type of oud. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Oh my God, is this so good. So unique, too. This was my first experience with the house. I now have 4 fragrances from them. This is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's like in that 150 range from discounters. This is so phenomenal. You can get samples online, so avant-garde places like that. Get a sample, try this one. Oh, so beautiful, and I love the bottle. They stack really well on the shelf, and then this one's got this kind of blue to reddish orange gradients to it. The gold cap and everything. Oh, it's so good. Such a good fragrance. And once you hear me describe it that way and then you smell it, that's what it's going to smell like to you. That's what's going to happen. Just like Vicks Vapor Rub with the opening of Leighton. Once you hear that and you smell it, and you're like, it's either going to ruin it for you or it's going to be like, Vicks Vapor Rub, which never bothered me. Mango, nectar cream snowball, a little bit of medicinal oud. Unique, right? It's amazing. You should try this in 2025. It is Gritti mango oud, and I want to get that plate to focus one more time for you guys before we go. There you go. Mango oud. Speaking of tropical fragrances, a lot of people have picked this as the best from Kajal. Now, I still say Lamar is just too special to dethrone, so this is a close second for me. But distinctive. I was so proud of myself when I unboxed this and did a blind first impression on a live stream. I was so proud of myself. It literally smells what the top is. Mandarin orange, pineapple, and passion fruit. And it's powdery and sweet. It's Kajal Icon. This is amazing for any of you that like tropical fragrances with some real power and depth. Think about this. You're adding depth with this powdered sweet tonka bean type of smell. I don't even remember if tonka beans was in there, but it smells like a sweet powdered tonka bean. So good. So a must try. Such a fun fragrance. Any of you that like tropical fragrances but don't want run of the mill, a lot of people will say, oh, God of Fire. Not exactly, but it walks the path. Lamari Porthole, God of Fire, all those beautiful hype beast niche tropical fragrances. This belongs right there on that tier with them. My God, if you think any of those were must try, which they are, especially Lamari Porthole. I'll take Porthole over God of Fire 10 out of 10 times. Just me, you know. I would take this 10 out of 10 times over God of Fire as well. Kind of a toss-up between this and Porthole, though. I might lean more to this. This is more my taste because of that powdered nuance. I like powdery fragrances. Powdered tropical fruits with great performance. Get your nose on it if any of that sounds good. This is from Kajal Perfumes, and we're determined to get this to focus. Kajal Icon. Okay. This is really special. I almost put it above French Defense. I couldn't do it after giving it some wear. I still deem French Defense is the most important chess piece to me on the chessboard that is the Mind Games house. But boy, is this a close second. Oh, it couldn't be closer with Mind Games Mentor. This is magic. Dark plum, salted caramel, and I don't get so much salt, but clear caramel and plum with a smoked oud amber combo. Don't get much coffee here. There's a little bit, but this Boya Oud, it's like, man, this is really smoky. And then you read about the Boya Oud and you're like, oh, it's an earthy, smoky oud. Voila, you know. This is sensual. This is seductive. This is unique. This is straight up sexy shit right here, okay? And it's super expensive. So, disclaimer, fair warning, and I mean this shit when I say it. Do not sample this unless you are prepared for the possibility, strong possibility, that you're going to smell it and be like, shit. Now I need to buy this expensive ass bottle. Because if you're not used to buying $300-$400 fragrances, this is an outrageously priced fragrance for those that are used to spending under $100 on every bottle in their collection. Like if the most expensive fragrance you own is like Mancera and stuff like that, this is absurd to you. I'm not knocking it. That's just reality. I get it. Some people just refuse to spend this kind of money on a fragrance. You can smell good for less. I get it. I built a collection on it. But, big time but here. There's exceptions to that. Some stuff you smell is like, damn, I could see paying that for that fragrance. That shit is too good. This is how I feel about it. Yes, this was sent to me. And this example I give about sampling is how I feel it would be for me. Let's say this never got sent to me. Let's say I managed to get a sample. One of my buddies sent me a decant, right? Happens all the time. You need to get your nose on this, Ross. And they send me a decant. I then smell it. I don't spend $400 on fragrances. A little over 300 is like maximum I'm ever done. Louis Vuitton stuff. $300, right? $330, something like that. If I was to get a decant of this first and smell it, it's exactly what I described to you, be warned, is how I would be. That's why I describe, get ready for that, because I'll be like, son of a bitch. I know I'm not going to wear it a lot because I got a big ass, ridiculous, too many fragrance collection. That's my reality. And that's reality for me having this bottle. I don't wear it much. I've only worn it like 4 times. I haven't had it a ton of times, but I wear it to dinner. I specifically wear it to dinner. If I got the decant and smelled this, I'd be like, son of a bitch, now I gotta have this. Because it's that good, it's that unique. It's got gourmand elements, but it's not a straight up gourmand. It is an oud fragrance, but there's no funk here. It's not over the top medicinal. It's an earthy, smoky smell. Doesn't even really smell like oud. It's an interesting oud fragrance. The caramel plum combo with coffee just balances everything so well. The quality's top tier. The sillage is just engulfs your life. You just want to live in this stuff. It's amazing. It's come hither, pull her in. My wife loves it as well. I know this is the longest segment out of all 10. I did save the best for last. This was not ranked, but boy did I save the best for last. This is a 100% must sample. To me, anyways. But let's call it a 99% must sample, because that 1%, know going into it that there's a real possibility that you're going to want to buy a bottle after. And if you're not used to dropping money like that on one bottle, if you're the type that does $100 fragrance hauls that involve 6 fragrances in the haul, and again, not knocking it, I get it, I do it too. It's absurd. But some fragrances, it just makes sense that they cost $400. I'm not saying it should be $400, but I'm saying when you smell it, you might be like, shit, now I got to spend $400. It is that good to me. Not everybody will agree with me, but a lot of people will. Hype's real here, people. Try this in 2025. Mind Games Mentor. Well, now, interesting list of 10, right? All over the place, on up to a $400 freaking fragrance. I did save the best for last. Go figure the most expensive one is the one I'm saying is the best. That's not always the case, that the most expensive fragrance is the best. That's not always the case. In this case, it was. Great stuff across the board here. This is some of the best stuff I smelled across a variety of price points in 2024 that I believe you should get your nose on in 2025 to really expand your collection. Both on the affordable side, we got some great affordable options here, on to mid-level with a lot of these newer designers, on to some super, like, really delivers on being unique and special and worth the money niche, like Kajal Icon, Mango Oud from Gritti, and Mind Games Mentor. For example, Nishane Safran Colognise affordable niche blew my mind when I smelled it for the first time. Captivates me every time I pull that cap and sniff. I have links below if you want to check any of these out. You don't have to make a purchase to watch this video, but I sure appreciate you watching the video nonetheless. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you leave. Catch you on the next one.